Hey guys, this is Belinda with Willow Birch and Clover, and welcome to the first video in my little series of making a junk journal. I've thought a while about doing this, and I'm kind of excited. I think we're going to start at the very beginning, and we're going to go through how to think out your journal, how to get ideas for your journal, how to think out your journal, all the way through things like coffee staining, putting the book together, all of it. We'll make it together, and I hope this is something that you'd be interested in joining me in. I think it could be fun. And today we're going to start at the beginning, as you can see, and I've taken notes to kind of help me stay on track so I don't wander. I'm bad about that. So let's just start with this in this video. For those of you who are interested in making vintage style junk journals, and that's what I'll be showing you how to do because those are the kinds of journals that I make, we're going to begin with research. And I want you to take this serious, like a real little mini course, because you're going to have homework at the end, for real. So here we go. Step one is research, and you're going to be using Etsy and YouTube to do that. And I think what this does, it helps you to determine the type of style that you're interested in learning. Exactly what type of vintage journals do you want to make? Are they feminine and lacy and frilly, or are they more masculine in design? There's lots of different vintage style journals, and the first thing you have to do is decide what type of journal it is that you want to learn to make, what style interests you, and this will help you determine your own style, to develop your own style later, I should say. Over time, that's going to change, and that's natural. Every artist's work develops over time. If it didn't, I don't think it would be natural, so don't worry about that right now. We just have to have some place to start. By using Etsy, you can search for junk journals and look at what people are already making and see what it is that makes your heart beat faster when you watch it. That's exactly what happens for me when I see the grungy, shabby style journal. My mind starts racing. What can I do, in my book? So look through Etsy, but your most extensive tool is going to be YouTube right now. What I want you to do, first of all, is you're going to make yourself some playlists on your YouTube channel. You can keep them private or public, it doesn't matter. But the first playlist is going to be a flip-through playlist, and that's exactly what I would call it, the flip-through playlist. And you're going to find videos of flip-throughs of books. That's what I do, on my channel when I take the books out and I show you page by page what's on each page. Find some journals that you're really, really interested in learning how to make, or that you like the style and you want to learn how to do that, like that person or something like that person. It doesn't matter how many videos are on your playlist. The important thing is I want you to love the work of that person. And the second playlist that I want you to make should be entitled Tutorials. There's a lot to learn in making journals. You're going to learn coffee staining, tea staining. Some people eco dye, preparing fabrics, preparing laces, binding the book. I mean, there's just a lot to know. As you begin to go through YouTube, use the word tutorial in your search for these videos, junk journal tutorial, vintage junk journal tutorial, something like that, and you come across all these little techniques that you think will be helpful, save those videos to playlists. That's going to help you refer back to them later on without having to dig for the information again. And it's not going to be like work. This is really enjoyable. I mean, we all like to watch pretty things being made on YouTube, or at least I do. I could spend hours watching somebody make this really great looking journal. But that's where you're going to start. Don't limit yourself to just junk journals. Like my playlist, for example, I have work from mini album artists and other paper crafters. Like mini album artists, for instance, their tutorials, they are experts at layering, and that comes in really handy in a junk journal when you can layer your ephemera to create collage work on your page. So start thinking about it in terms of any paperwork that looks beautiful to you and that you could envision on the page of a journal. Those are the type video tutorials you want to save, okay? And like I said, keep in mind you're going to need something on coffee staining, tea staining if you don't already know how to do it, ephemera making, all the little flips, flaps, or tucks on pages. If you find tutorials for those are great. Different bookbinding methods. You've got Coptic stitch, you know, the pamphlet stitch, the Japanese side binding. There are tons of ways to bind a book. Start saving some binding tutorials. Bookbinding tutorials could be a separate playlist all by itself. Any aspect of book construction can be found on YouTube, and I think that's an excellent place to start for beginners because it's free. Now, later on, after you can make a basic journal with ease, then is the time to invest some money in some paid classes and learn some really special techniques from some really gifted women that you're not going to be able to learn anywhere else. And I myself have a list of people that I've taken classes from, and I'm going to share that with you in just a minute. But also know that down below in the description box, I'm going to list out some YouTube channels that I personally subscribe to, and I've got the little bell turned on so I get notifications because I don't want to miss anything that they post. I learn so much from them. I enjoy looking at their work, and I'm extremely inspired and get a lot of my own ideas from them. I can't leave links. There's like 31 of them. There's no way I could link all of those YouTube channels, so you're going to have to do a little work yourself and type the name in the search bar. If you're not familiar with the YouTube channel, go to that channel, and I highly recommend that anyone that you are inspired by or you are learning from, that you subscribe to their channel and like their videos. You know, that's just polite. They're giving you something, and that's what you can give back to them. That helps their YouTube channel to grow. A lot of women make their income off of YouTube, so it helps when you subscribe or like their videos. So just be polite, and if you take something away from a person, that's an easy way, like I said, to give back. Not to mention the fact, like I said, their work will show up in your feed, and you will be able to reference their work easily, all right? Now, I wanted to give you a word of caution here. We are not going to be copying anybody. Don't think that what I'm asking you to do here, we're not going to be looking at videos and making exact books. That's plagiarism, and we're just not going to do it. I had an incident one time several years ago on my Pretty Little Things journal, and you can scroll through my videos and find that and watch it. I was so proud of that book. It took me days and days and days to make that journal. And I thought it was absolutely beautiful. And when I posted it on YouTube, a lady immediately commented that I had copied the work of another artist. And she said, and we all know who it is that you copied, and I think you can at least mention her name. I was inspired by an artist. It was Sajida from Sajida's Coffee Stains. I love her work. I had watched her videos for weeks until I was ready to set out on my own and try my own hand at that type of work, and I felt like I had done it, and I had been accused of copying. Well, that story had a happy ending because Sajida ended up seeing the post, and she commented that I was not copying, that she could see how I had been inspired by her work, and that my work was influenced by some of her techniques, but that my work was unique and its own. Let me tell you what, this little Southern girl here, that carried me for the next 6 months of journal making. I mean, I was on cloud nine because I just idolize her work, and I was just so pleased that she took the time to defend me. But I'm telling you this story because we're not going to have you getting yourself in the same situation. I want you to learn from people, not copy people. And it's okay to be influenced by someone's work, but you don't want to copy them exactly, okay? So that's my word of warning there. Now, As for the people I have taken paid courses from, and like I said, this is going to come later on after you've learned all that you can for free and you're ready to move to the next level. I've taken several classes from Nick the Booksmith. I think I have like 5 of her journal making courses. I've taken a class from Amity Bloom, Bohemian Crafting. I've learned from her extensively. Ava's work is off the charts. And I belong to her. She has a Patreon page where I'm a paid subscriber, you know, and I'll just go ahead and tell you, I pay that little bit of money every month because she teaches techniques and she teaches how to grunge, and I just love her. So if you're really interested in really, really grungy, I recommend Ava. And you can begin by watching her YouTube channel because she has a lot of flip throughs and free tutorials on there. And once you're ready to move on past that, you know, you might want to join her Patreon, really. I can't say enough. I've taken a course from Sajida, Sajida's Coffee Stains, a paid course, and I watch her channel nonstop. And if you don't know who Sajida is, and it's okay if you don't, but I can't imagine that you don't, but, you know, I idolize her too. But scroll way back, and watch some of her videos from when she first began her channel and watch them all the way up through now, and I think you're going to be amazed at the evolution of style and technique. And that's a perfect example of what I'm saying when I say that your work will evolve, and it's okay. It's supposed to do that because it's still going to be great. Nellie Wortman, I've taken a couple of her paid courses, and her work, if you don't know who Nellie Wortman is, she has a YouTube channel, and I suggest that you look her up. She's fabulous. And I know that there have been others. As I jotted these notes down, you can see I really did jot because I scribbled. I can't remember exactly who. I'll mention them on later on in the course as I do, but everyone that I have watched on YouTube and enjoyed watching their tutorials or their techniques, my work has been influenced by their work. Now, for your homework, the end of this video is coming up and fast approaching. And like I said, I'm going to leave a list of YouTube channels for you to check out. There won't be links, just names, but put their name in the search bar and go and look at their work. And I think you're going to really be amazed at what, you know, people are doing with paper, really. But the first step is I want you to spend a few days making your playlist, the 2 playlists that we just talked about, the flip throughs and then the tutorials, and just those will be ongoing projects. At least start them for me in the next couple of days. And then number 2, in your own words, I want you to jot down on a piece of paper how you would describe a perfect journal, or the journal that you want to learn how to make. Because if you can describe it, then you know what it is you need to learn how to do in order to make it. Okay? Does that make sense? So do those 2 things for me. And this is the end of our first video. Please, if you're interested in learning how to make a journal, just follow along with this. Consider this a free mini course. I think it's going to be fun, and I'm really anxious to hear input from all of you too. So, in preparation for the next video coming up, get your homework done, folks, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.